Dear students, this is the very first class on SPSS. Before I start, I must say this. Do not get scared by hearing the name SPSS or that it is a new software for you to learn. Do not worry about it too much. I'm going to try my best to explain all the concepts of SPSS here in this video and in the upcoming classes as well. So with regards to SPSS, we are going to have 3 to 4 classes at least. So in these classes, I'm going to explain number 1, what is SPSS exactly? Number 2, what are the different functions of SPSS? Number 3, how to use the different functions of SPSS? Number 4, how to collect data and enter those data into SPSS? And finally, number 5, how to analyze our data using this software. So I'm going to take you through all the steps thoroughly. Now at the very beginning, I must mention what is SPSS and what is the purpose of using SPSS. SPSS is mainly a data analysis software used for research purposes. For example, in your research, you have collected data. So maybe you have 200, 300, 400 or maybe 500 surveys collected from your respondents. Now think of it like this way. Say, in each of those surveys, you have 20 questions. And you have in total 500 surveys. So here 20 questions in each survey and in total 500 surveys. So you have a lot of questions to analyze, right? So doing this whole thing manually and doing all the analysis on your own without any help of a software is going to be very difficult for you. So in situations like these, when we have a lot of data, we use SPSS. So what we do here, after we have all the survey responses from all our respondents, we basically enter all our responses into this software and then run proper statistical analysis on those data. So again, just to briefly tell you, the purpose of using SPSS is to enter all our collected data in our research into that software and then run proper statistical analysis on that data. What sort of statistical analysis? Maybe correlation, or maybe regression, or maybe some other statistical tools. We are going to learn all of those tools in the later classes. For now, do not think of it in a complicated manner. Rather, think of it like an advanced version of Excel. So I'm sure all of you know how to use Excel file, right? So in Excel, we can do multiple sorts of data analysis. However, SPSS is much advanced version than Excel. So here, again, we can analyze a lot of data, but the level of analysis is much more advanced. Now, even if you're still confused now what is SPSS, do not worry. You are going to learn what is SPSS and what are the things that you can do in an SPSS software very soon. Now let's start learning SPSS. Now, before starting to learn SPSS software, the very first thing I would like to do here is to introduce you to the questionnaire that we are going to use for our SPSS learning purposes. So we are going to use a sample questionnaire and enter all the relevant data of that questionnaire into our SPSS software. So try to understand this questionnaire very well. Why? Because this questionnaire will be used for the next 3 or 4 classes. So let's take a look at the sample survey questionnaire that we are going to use for the next 2, 3 or 4 classes. So here is the sample questionnaire. Now to make it easy for you, I have intentionally used very simple questions in this questionnaire, alright? I don't want to confuse you any further. So let's take a look at these questions. So number 1 question is what is your age? Number 2 question is what is your height? Then we have what is your gender? And under these questions we have 3 options. Then we have what is your highest educational qualification. Again, under this option we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 options. So the respondent can choose any one of these options. Now the next question, which is question number 5, we have please select one of the following options. Now if you remember from the earlier classes, we learned what is a Likert scale, right? So if I take a look here, the first question is I hate bus CO2 course. So against this question, we have 5 options. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So again, this is a Likert scale question and the respondents can choose any one of these numbers to respond to this question. So I hate bus CO2 course. So if you strongly agree with it, so you choose option 1. If you just agree with it, then option 2. and so on. Similarly, in the next line we have, the Joker movie is really awesome. So again, you have options from 1 to 5. Now, if you strongly agree with this statement, then you choose option 1. On the other hand, if you strongly disagree with that question, then you choose option 5. So again, these two are Likert scale questions. Next, we have question 6, which is what is your hometown? And finally, we have the last question, which is what was your position in the hopping competition in high school? So obviously, I'm sure many of you know of this game and many of you may have played it on your annual sports day competition. So alright, so these are the 7 questions we have in the questionnaire. So these are the questions that we are going to use for our SPSS analysis. Now in the very next video, I'm going to explain the details of SPSS. So I'm going to show you how to enter all of these questions and all of the responses to these questions in an SPSS software. However, there is a very important point. Trust me, this is really important. Before you start watching the next video, you must again go through the video on types of data, where I explained nominal data, ordinal data, interval data, and ratio data. That video is really important. If you do not understand that video, or if you have not watched that video, you will not understand a single thing in the next video. That's a guarantee. So before you start the next video, please make sure you have gone through that types of data video and understood all the relevant concepts. So yes, that's it for now. See you very soon in the next video.